head coach, plus an update from the UK football coach. The Pigskin Report. Brought to you by DQ Happy Tastes Good. Intercounty Energy, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky. Jobmaster Rental, let them help master your job. CC Auto Parts and Service, an Auto Value Certified Service Center. Now, with the DQ Pigskin Report, here are your hosts, Rick Schobel and Joe Mathis.
Well, Joe, we went 3-3 last week with one abstaining.
Yeah, wasn't a real good week.
No.
We've had better weeks.
At least we didn't have a losing week.
Yeah, wasn't under 500. It was an even 500.
That's
so
right.
That's a good way to look at it, I guess. Mm-hmm.
And some interesting games, some games that some teams should have won. UK,
looking at you. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Center College won a close game. Garrett County didn't play. Danville, we kind of figured that.
Yeah, writing was kind of on the wall. It was more about how well can Danville compete.
Powerhouse, yeah.
How well can Danville compete against LCA? And they did, for the most part, competed well. And we'll talk with Stoneberg a little bit later on about it. But he was proud of his guys' effort against LCA.
Mercer finally got that first win.
Yeah.
It was a district win on the road, so a lot of positives there.
You said they were up 37-0 at one point in that game, so that was a running clock win then for them.
And they probably put a lot of the subs in at that point. So. And then Boyle County had no problems with Lincoln.
Yeah, 40-0 at the half.
Yep.
Rebels dominated Lincoln County. I think they wanted to make a statement. What do you think? Lincoln County was 6-1 coming in. There was a lot of chatter. This Lincoln County team has a lot of experience. Is this the year that maybe they can knock Boyle County off? Well, it took about 5 minutes for everyone to realize that ain't going to happen tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight being Friday night. So, yeah, they took care of business real early, jumped on them early.
Well, they left the starters in against the second, third string defense of Boyle, and they kept passing the ball. And finally, they got a touchdown. And then Lefevue came in quarterback, third string for Boyle County. Right at the end of the game, he threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
I think that was a statement, too.
Yeah, he got a touchdown pass in there, too, right before the time wound out there after the running clock was in effect there in the first half. So, yep.
Well, let's get it started, Joe. Don't forget about that $7 meal deal. That's a great deal. You got 5 different things. I think you can get 2 of them for $5.
Yeah, I know they've got the original cheeseburger. They have the chicken strips. You can get the chicken strips tossed. You got yours. You got a chicken strip
honey
basket.
barbecue. Oh, that was really good.
But you can get them tossed as well as a part of the $7 meal deal. I got the queso bacon burger tonight for the $7 meal deal. It was really good. It had queso cheese on it. Bacon was great. I upgraded my sundae to the new Oreo Reese Blizzard. So I'm feeling good. I'm fat and happy and ready to rock and roll tonight.
Yeah, we got Super Dave here and Joe Robinson Jr., the biggest sports fan of Central Kentucky. The Padre Mathis is here, and we hope you come by and see us as well. Well, Jeff Pecoro, color analyst for UKT NWTVQ Sports Director. You're one of the few who thought UK had a chance to beat number 21 Texas. Almost did and should have beat them, losing in overtime 16-13.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. I mean, when the other team's offense consists of 2 punt returns, that's what really irks you as a coach, as a player, as a fan. They're so close. I mean, if you just look at the stat sheet after the game was over and didn't have a name on it of who was who, if you just gave that to anybody in America and said, who won this game? They'd say, oh, my goodness, this team had 395 yards offense. The other team had 160, right? This team ran the ball for 130 yards against one of the top rushing defenses in the country. They had, 50? It was just every single system. They had 20. Kentucky had, 26 first downs. They had 8. Just every single number on the stat sheet pointed to Kentucky. And I know a lot of people are going to go back to the very first drive when Kentucky went down the field and instead of kicking a field goal. 2 ways to look at that. One, you're excited because Coach Stoops is taking a chance and he knows what do you have to lose. You're playing against the preseason number 1. Then the other side of you says you're playing against the preseason number 1 team with a great defense. Take as many points as you can until you have to go for it. That's and again, hindsight's 20/20, but that's what I think you have to look at in this game.
That one play, and I agree with you. I was listening to you. They picked Cutter Boley up in the end zone and threw him down. I thought they were supposed to protect the quarterbacks.
That was the one play that I and look, I don't care if you're a Kentucky fan or you're a Texas fan or whatever. If that was Arch Manning, they would have had the kid in handcuffs taking him off the field by the police. You're trying to protect your quarterbacks. He was hit at the 1-yard line, right?
Yep.
Taken all the way back to the middle of the end and not tackled, but picked up and slammed like a championship wrestler. And there's no penalty flag on it. That was the one thing I thought that was excessive, especially to the quarterback.
I don't know what the referee was looking as he was ordering some pizza and donuts for halftime. They absolutely blew that call.
Yeah, that was a really tough series because you hold them and they flipped the field on that, and that was a key 6-8 minutes of the game right there because they were able to the whole game it seemed those two quarters were played on that right side of the field. It was almost like arena football, and once you flip the field, that's why when you've got a good defense or both teams have a good defense, it's imperative that you get a first down or two and don't have to kick out of your end zone. And I thought that was some pretty careful play calling. First play you run a quarterback sneak, got you I think a yard or two. Now you're out to like the 3 or 4 yard line. The next play they run another blast right up the middle to get them to the 6, just so their punter can have his 15-yard drop. And I thought, if anything, throw that short pass out to the side. Throw a little pop pass to the tight end. Get you 5 or 6 yards where you can possibly get that first down. Then you can, the good punt, you make them have to go at least 60 or 70 yards first points instead of getting the ball back at plus yard line or right around the 50.
UK had some chances and squandered them. Now let's go ahead and go to overtime. UK, the play calling, Jeff, just running right up the middle. Why did they not try to go around the end on one of the plays with Law got some speed, number one. Number two, I'm not sure I would have not kicked a field goal the way the defense, UK's defense was playing. They were holding Manning to nothing.
Yeah, well, and again, I know that's what we do. We're second guessers. I agree with you, and I think Mark was a little upset after the game and when he talked to us about just blasting up the middle those couple times. It reminded me back of Jerry Claiborne back in 1986 against Tennessee when he ran Mark Higgs 3 times at the exact same play from the 1 yard line and was stoned, and Tennessee got the win. But yeah, instead of going right up the middle, because the way their defense was, they were pinching the center, meaning they had 2 massive 330-pound guys right over each shoulder of the center. And then they had the 2 linebackers that were right almost stacked above. So there's really 4 guys in there for just 3 of your guys to block. That was the teeth of their defense, and that's what they're so good at, is stopping the run, but especially a run that's just a blast play, we call it, right over the center. I would have tried to go left around Braun is, I think, your best run blocker. I'd have tried to go maybe over left tackle a little bit, or just fake the blast and do a quick pitch to Law coming around or something like I said, hindsight's 20/20, but yeah, I think everybody would have liked to have seen something different than just a blast right up the middle.
UK loses that game 9 SEC games in a row. Give us some blue Kool-Aid how UK is going to fare against Tennessee.
Well, I think did anybody think that was going to happen? I don't think so. But if Kentucky played that way against Ole Miss, that's a different game. If Kentucky played that way against South Carolina, it's a different game. If Kentucky plays this way against Tennessee, then I think they've got a shot. I mean, that defense was awesome. I mean, Arch Manning looked nothing like a All-American Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback. I mean, he was flustered. They got hits on him. They got pressure on him. They sacked him a couple times. But the bigger thing was they hit him several times. I mean, he probably got hit 10 times hard. And then when he was running the ball, they hit. So if they can get hits on the quarterback, it's not always that to me. And you hear a lot of people, especially if you listen to Tom Brady and Troy Aikman, quarterbacks who are doing national games. When you make the quarterback move his feet, he becomes an ordinary quarterback, because a quarterback, and I don't care if you're John Elway, he's got to step and throw to the target, right? And when they're running or moving, now it's all on your arm. And there's just not a lot of college quarterbacks that can make plays down the field on the move. Sellers is one of them from South Carolina because he's just a massive guy. Make him move, and that's what Kentucky did to Arch. And if they can do that to Tennessee, I think if they come out and play with the same vim and vigor and that they did against Texas, I think they've got a shot. I mean, Tennessee's been beaten twice. They've been taken to overtime, and they just lost a really hard-fought game to Alabama. It's going to be interesting to see how Tennessee comes in as well. Do they come in all upset and mad, or do they come in like they do most of the time, kind of overconfident? I've always said when you play Tennessee, Tennessee knows they can beat Kentucky. Kentucky hopes they can beat Tennessee, and that's not the way you go into a game. I don't care if you're playing Ohio State or you're playing Toledo. you have to go in with confidence and play with confidence. If Kentucky's able to do that, then I think they've got a great shot Saturday night. Again, if they play like they did against Texas, I think that they got a good shot.
Well, let's hope that tradition doesn't hold true, because usually after a very emotional up game like that, they come out not so fired up. So let's hope that this gets turned around and they keep that same sense of urgency and take that fight to them and say, hey, we got a shot at this, instead of, like you said, walk on the field and let's keep from losing this game.
I hope so. All right, buddy. Talk to you there.
There you go. That's UK color analyst Jeff Pecoro.
Pecoro. Interesting insight. He was right there.
Yeah,
watching.
We were talking. Of course, that was all the conversation. The UK game was basically at church the next day and after church and all that. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and hoping to get a different result. And I feel like that's exactly what UK tried to do. Run it up the middle.
Yep.
Back-to-back plays as the Texas defensive lineman had his arms open to devour Dowdle as they hopped over the top of the line. Back-to-back plays. And we'll see how Kentucky does this Saturday against Tennessee. We'll step aside. We'll come back. We've got a lot more to talk about. Center College head football coach Andy Fry, Lincoln County head football coach Levi Rogers both join us coming up next live here from the Harrodsburg Dairy Queen, where we've got the Pigskin Report for you. Coming up right after this show, stay tuned to WHBN for the Mercer County FFA auction. It's night number 1 of that 3-night auction. Will be tonight, tomorrow night, and Thursday night. And tonight from 7 o'clock until 8 right here on the Hometown Radio Network on WHBN. We'll step aside, come back, and give you more Pigskin Report coverage coming up on the Hometown Radio Network.
Rising prices are everywhere, from gas pumps to the electric bill. Intercounty Energy understands these times are challenging. That is why we're doing all we can to keep your rates competitive and service reliable. We also have programs to provide options to help you manage your bill. To learn more about what we're doing for you, go to intercountyenergy.net, intercountyenergy.net, or togetherwesaveky.com. Togetherwesaveky.com. Intercounty Energy, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Great! See, we're practically sitting on the field. If you could sit here.
Your food and drinks will be right over.
Oh, yes! For the same price as way up here. Great seats. Right up here with a blimp. Why wouldn't you? It's the same with auto insurance. With discounts up to 40%, it's possible to get the personal service of a State Farm agent for the same or less than those other guys.
See your State Farm agent in Harrodsburg, David Hopewell, and Randy Couch.
Most of us may have some weekend free time, so when you find yourself looking at a home project, come see us at Job Master Rental. We'll get you the right tool for any job. We can help you tackle home improvement projects to major construction and everything in between. Come see us at Job Master and take advantage of our weekend special. Pick up a piece of equipment on Friday after 3 p.m. and return it by 8 a.m. Monday morning and pay the one-day price. Come see us for all your rental needs. Visit us at jobmasterrental.com. We have 2 convenient locations in Danville and Lebanon. Let us help master your job.
And now, back to the DQ Pigskin Report.
Stop on by. Get something good to eat here at the Harrodsburg DQ Grill and Chill. Get the chicken. I'm trying to read that backwards. Chicken basket. Chicken strip basket. I had that with the
disappeared. Here we go.
There you are. Yes, there you go.
I think I'm back.
I think you're back. Yeah.
That's what you got, Rick.
I got that, and I got the barbecue chicken, the barbecue sweet barbecue. I think it was.
Like honey barbecue.
Honey barbecue.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good stuff.
Yeah, you got yours rolled, tossed in honey barbecue sauce.
Yep. And then they've got the meat lovers bowl right over your head there in the window. That thing looks really good too.
Don't you like the gravy on it, Rick?
Hold the G. I'll take everything else in that bowl except the G.
I've had one of those before. They are really good. Yeah, it's one of the breakfast meals they have.
And then $4 breakfast, so you don't get it any cheaper. It's a very good, effective meals here.
Yep.
DQ Grill. Speaking of effective, another win for Center College. Coach Fry, good conference win, 19-16 over Southwestern.
Well, yeah, it was one of those games. We looked real well early, and then we kind of stalled out late, but we were able to play through it all and come out ahead. So I've always said wins can be ugly, but I'll take an ugly win sometimes, which really wasn't that ugly. It was just a little closer than a really good loss. No worries about that. We understand what our goal and objective is. So I was pleased with that. Our defense played well enough. I mean, kept them within 16 points, and that's good enough to do it. You know, I thought we played well our first half, gave up something late, second quarter, and then it was a 10-point game clear up to about the end. And they had a chance to drive. Unfortunately, we got another fumble recovery. We won 2 games now on fumble recoveries, so I guess that's a good thing.
Now, you so infrequently come up with that word loss. I guess every time that happens, you have to look at a dictionary to see what the meaning is. So when it happens, I'd say you have to look up in a dictionary what it means.
No, well, that's very kind of you, but it's, trust me, I've been in the game long enough. You know, there's times when you feel like it was a loss when you won, but like I said, that's when you hear coaches say that, well, that was an ugly win. And basically what they're saying is it wasn't what we had practiced, but we won.
Bottom line. That's all that matters is a W. And
that's the bottom line.
Then you go back and look and make adjustments and changes.
That's right. That's what you do.
Everybody come out healthy after the game?
Yeah, we did. I was really pleased with that. And like I said, I thought there were some things that I saw that we did well. But I've always said, one of the things I said, we're so close. We're so close to being good, really good. And yet there's a few things we're so far away. That's part of coaching, just try to, close that gap.
You've got a little road trip here to Trinity of Texas. They're 5-1. Tell us how you match up against them.
Well, when you say matchup, I don't know if there's a real matchup. I mean, I think, one, it's a tough trip. And like today, we've moved everything back. We're leaving Thursday, so we're not going to practice that. The NCAA allows you one day a week you can't practice. So we're not going to practice Thursday. So we practice Sunday, which we just kind of get the Saturday game out of us. Then Monday today is a Tuesday. And then Tuesday will be like a Wednesday, and Wednesday will be like a Thursday, and then we'll take Thursday off, and we leave here at 4:30 on Thursday afternoon, and we'll get into San Antonio probably around 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we'll take advantage of San Antonio. We don't play till Saturday, and we'll do the River Walk, we'll do the Alamo, we'll do all that kind of stuff. And then we'll practice at Incarnate Word, which is in San Antonio, and we'll eat. And then, we get up Saturday morning, and we'll go play a football game at 12:30 there, Central Standard Time, and then we got to catch a flight coming back.
And what would be the keys to a center victory over Trinity of Texas on Saturday?
Well, one, we've got to be able to control the line of scrimmage. They're really good up front, and we're going to have to be able to throw the football and give protection. I'm impressed with their speed. I'm also very impressed with their up front. I think their box is real strong, probably the best we've seen so far. And they're well coached, and I think that's another thing. I think defensively, we're going to have to control the line of scrimmage like always, because they do a great job of balancing their running and their passing attack. I think they've got 2 quarterbacks that I think are good. They're real good. They've got a good wide receiver. I mean, it's like we have to play every week. I mean, I thought Southwestern was very athletic, but they made mistakes. And I think Trinity is very athletic, but they don't make those kind of mistakes. And I think if we can play clean, I think it's one of those kind of games I hope that it'll probably go all the way to the end, I hope. And if it is, then see who can finish. All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Who's mine?
There you go, Center College head football coach Andy Fry going to Trinity.
Yes, in Texas.
Not
Trinity of Louisville.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'd be a lot closer. They just played the Trinity Shamrocks, but
Yeah.
they have to go to Texas to play this game. San Antonio, they said they're leaving Friday?
Leaving Thursday.
Leaving Thursday for
Thursday,
that game,
get there
we
late
said.
Thursday night, and then they're going to spend all day Friday going and seeing the sights. And
I was trying to figure out his schedule because he said Monday's a Tuesday and Tuesday's a Wednesday. It'd be a fun trip for him.
Yep, it will.
It was not a fun trip for Lincoln County on Friday night going to Boyle County.
I thought it was going to be a lot more fun than it was.
Yeah, let's go to the high school ranks and talk about that game where Coach Levi Rogers from Lincoln County joins us. And Coach Rogers, Boyle came out ready to play, leading them to a 48-7 rout over your Patriots.
Yeah, like you mentioned, they came out and just kind of got all over us. Jumped on us early. We started off with a 3-and-out, and then they scored in a couple plays. Then we had a block punt to. Just all kinds of things kind of snowballing there, and they jumped all over us. Really good team, forced us into some bad positions that we just couldn't really get out of, and I mean, it's a really good football team over there.
Yeah, how tough is it to keep things when you're going against a team as good as Boyle County and whoever else is down the road now for you all come playoff time, to keep things from snowballing against really good teams like that? How difficult is it?
I mean, it's difficult, but, you know, you just got to lock in. You got to kind of execute there, you know, and try to regroup and that kind of thing. And I told our guys, you know, it wasn't what we wanted to do, definitely not the performance that we'd been practicing for and those kinds of things. But, you know, now here it is kind of staring us at the face. In the face, it's really all about how we're going to respond from here going forward. And, you know, first day out to practice today, we'll see how we go.
What did you tell your team after the game, Coach, and were there any positives to take from the game?
No, not many positives. I wasn't real happy with the team, which they knew it. They, you know, our guys are, you know, they've played a lot of football. They weren't happy either. So, you know, I just told them, hey, put it behind you. You know, a lot to still play for this week coming up. We're looking at a chance to host a playoff game if we can get a win this week. It's something that hasn't been done here in quite some time. So, still a lot to play for. You know, I told them we're going to learn from it. We're going to watch it. We're going to try to get better. But, you know, the biggest thing is put it behind you and let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, like you said, chance to host a home playoff game. And the biggest game on the schedule for you all, Coach, is now coming up on Friday against a Russell County team that started off 3-1. They are 0-4 since, and they haven't scored a touchdown in the last 8 quarters. Let's talk about this Russell County offense, Coach. What do you expect to see out of them offensively?
They're pretty balanced on offense. It all runs through the quarterback. He's the best player on their football team, and you can tell, you know, they get the ball in his hands as much as they possibly can. He can run it. He can throw it. The Stringer kid, he's a really good player, really good athlete all the way around, plays baseball too. So just really good player. We got to know where he's at. Number 16 can fly around, make plays. It's a lot of the guys that we played against last year, so there's some familiarity there, and you know, hopefully our guys just prepare the way we need to.
I know there's more than just 2 guys on their offense, and you mentioned them, but they seem offensively like a two-headed monster. Tanner Stringer, their quarterback. You mentioned number 16. That's Kennett Wills, who's caught 7 of Stringer's 8 touchdown passes this year. Those 2 guys do a lot for him.
Yeah, they do, and they're good up front too. They got some good size up there. Some kids that played a little bit, and you know, they're good there as well. Defensive side of the ball, they're always sound. They line up. They ran a little more 3-man kind of front this year, but they'll get in the 4-4 too, and just really good sound defense from Russell County. So they're a good football team all the way around.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see the last name French. I expect 4-4 defense.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't. Apple don't fall too far there. I think he has somebody else that calls his defense, but you know, I know they kind of line up and lean towards the 4-4.
Coach, you win. You do get a home playoff game. You mentioned it's been a while. 2021 was the last home playoff game for Lincoln County, but before that, you have to go back to 2011. So a win on Friday gives you only the second home playoff game in the last 13 years. What do your Patriots need to do right on Friday night to beat Russell County to clinch that home playoff game?
We just got to get back refocused, you know, and get back to playing our style of football. We got to, you know, own it up front on the line of scrimmage, and then we got to be sound on defense. We got to start getting back to limiting these big plays. We've been giving up way too many plays on defense, so got to do that. Got to take care of the football.
Lincoln County head football coach Levi Rogers. Coach, we appreciate you being on. Good luck with practice this week, and we'll talk to you again next Monday, okay?
All righty. Thank you, sir.
From Lincoln County, we're going to take another timeout right here. From your DQ Grill and Chill, come on in or drive through, get you something great to eat. And as Joe mentioned earlier, don't forget about the FFA auction coming up right after we finish up here. 7 o'clock to 8 tonight, 6 to 8 tomorrow night, 6 to 8 on Thursday night. You're getting a DQ Grill and Chill Pigskin Report, and we are getting it live to you on FM 99.5 WHBN, 103.9 FM WHIR, and we're streaming it live on hometownlive.net.
Great! See, we're practically sitting on the field. If you could sit here.
Your food and drinks will be right over.
Oh, yes! For the same price as way up here. Great seats. Right up here with a blimp. Why wouldn't you? It's the same with auto insurance. With discounts up to 40%, it's possible to get the personal service of a State Farm agent for the same or less than those other guys.
See your State Farm agent in Harrodsburg, David Hopewell, and Randy Couch.
Intercounty Energy wants you to put safety first when you're working outside. Always look up to see if there are overhead power lines, and be sure to stay clear of them. For safety's sake, always hire a professional to trim trees instead of doing it yourself. Remember, a tree limb cut in the wrong place could fall on a power line and cause you a world of hurt. If you do decide to do the work yourself, always protect your eyes and hands by wearing safety glasses and gloves. Intercounty Energy cares about your safety. Look up, be alert, and stay safe.
Are you considering a new home purchase or maybe a remodel? Are you looking for a stable partner you can trust to help you understand your options? This is Jason Tyler. I'm a loan officer at Whitaker Bank in Harrodsburg. As part of your community, I'm here to help you understand the best options for you today and in the future. Give me a call at 859-734-3316 and let me show you what Uniquely Kentucky means. Whitaker Bank is Uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
CC Auto Parts and Service is the difference. We get it. No appointment necessary. Fast, friendly auto service every time. We'll have you in and out, hassle-free. Brakes, engines, and service of every kind. With free pickup and free delivery. CC Auto Parts and Service is the difference. We get it.
Hear every play.
Ball's knocked loose, picked up by Kentucky.
Excited about this team.
Hear every hit.
All out blitz. Boom!
It's an exciting time.
Hear every touchdown.
He's throwing deep. He got it. Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown!
Kentucky football.
We're ready to go.
On the UK Sports Network.
Z105, your home for the Cats and the hits, is WRNZ FM Z105. Go Cats!
And now, back to the DQ Pigskin Report.
Joe Mathis alongside Radio Rick live from the Harrodsburg Dairy Queen with Super Dave, and Joe Robinson is here. Made the trip up here to Harrodsburg. Got Joe here talking high school sports with us. The Padres here, Rebecca and Jack and Rayleigh and Truitt's even getting his burger action on. He's eating some
burger on, Truitt.
He's looking at Rick and smiling every time he looks at Rick. I think he thinks Rick's a clown. And Rick's making faces at him, so we're having a blast out here at the Harrodsburg Dairy Queen. Coming out and try out the new chicken strip basket tossed in sweet chili. Now, Jack got his tossed in honey barbecue, which is what Rick got. So Jack and Rick got the same thing.
That's right.
I did last week. I had the sweet chili chicken strip basket, or 2 weeks ago maybe it was. It was 2 weeks ago, I think, and it was very good. So come out, try out the new flavors they have here at the Harrodsburg Dairy Queen. Let's go to Garrett County, Lancaster, and talk with Coach Spencer Crutchfield and the Golden Lions. And, Coach, your Garrett County Golden Lions had a bye week. How did it go for you?
Well, we approached last week. We kind of gave the guys a couple of days off, try to get some guys' legs back underneath of them. You got some guys at this point in the season, which is the case for probably 95% of the teams. Got some guys that are beaten, banged up. So we try to get our legs back underneath of us, try to heal up some injuries, and just work mainly fundamentals and just getting back to the basics of what we need to do. Then on Friday night, I spent Friday night at home with my family and just hung out. So don't get to do that very many Friday nights right now. So.
Did you watch some games on the live stream or listen to some games or something like that?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely. I checked out Levi and the Lincoln County Patriots, and just we played them last game of the season. And, of course, Levi's my cousin, so I was watching them and, just try to flip through some games and keep up some scores as the night went on.
Coach, coming up on Friday, it's the biggest game of the year for you all, and you got a chance for a home playoff game for the third consecutive year if you can take care of business against a Mercer County team that record-wise doesn't look real good, but they have dealt with a lot of injuries, and they still have some offensive firepower. So let's start off with the offensive side of the football, Coach. What do you expect to see out of this Craig Yeast-led Mercer County Titan offense?
Well, like you said, they don't have a great record, but that's very deceiving because their schedule is brutal. And so, I told our coaching staff and our players they may be the best 1-7 team in the state, and that's just what it is. They're really talented, like you said. Got a lot of weapons on the offensive side. Have plenty of speed and have plenty of playmaking ability, and they definitely stress you out. And Coach East does a great job of making sure he formations you and getting the matchups that he wants, so they can definitely stress you. And we know that, and we got our hands full going in, and they've always been a thorn in our side. So we definitely have to try to get over the hump this year.
Yeah, Cornelius Mapp, their quarterback, a senior, can throw it and can run it, and when he throws it, he tends to throw it Jacob Sanford's way. And I heard Coach East talking a couple of weeks ago on the Saturday morning coaches show we do on a Harrisburg station on WHB, and he believes that Jacob Sanford's one of the best athletes in the area. Wears number 33. He's a dynamic receiver and plays some running back as well for Mercer County.
Yeah, he's a good-sized kid. Like Coach said, he's a great athlete. He has a great knack of just getting open and getting in space and being able to create separation with his size. And he's not going to really just overwhelm you with his speed, but he moves well enough. And like I said, he's got great hands, and the quarterback does a great job of putting it where only he can catch it, and he makes a lot of plays for him. Defensively, what do you expect to see out of the Mercer County Titan defense? Well, they're going to mainly base out of a 4-4, really sound, but they also have here lately started bringing a lot of pressure, trying to create some negative plays, and they've done a great job with that. And they have plenty of team speed. They're very aggressive, so we got to make sure that we're assignment driven when we're on offense. Coach, after the bye week late in the season, did you like where the bye week fell? Because I know I asked you last week, you beat Bardstown the Friday before, and almost liken it to like a Major League Baseball team that's hit their stride, and then the All-Star break happens, and they have to take 3 days off before they get to playing again. Are you glad the bye week fell when it did, or did you wish you could get back out there last Friday and play after that win over Bardstown? Well, there's always negatives and positives to every situation, and the positive is we were able to get some guys kind of healed up and get our legs back underneath of us. But like you said, the negative is we feel like we're playing pretty decent football right now, and you want to kind of keep that rolling. So, the positives and negatives on both sides, and hopefully our team is mature enough just to handle and keep rolling on the field. You got a chance again in a a home playoff game. In the playoffs, you'll be at Mercer County Friday night. Coach, what's the keys to a victory over Mercer County Friday night to clinch a home playoff game? Well, the main thing is, we got to make sure that we're physical on both sides of football and try to limit big plays for them offensively, and just take care of the football when we have it on offense as well. Garrett County head football coach Spencer Crutchfield. Coach, we appreciate you being on. Good luck with practice this week, and we'll talk to you again next Monday, okay? All righty. Thank you, Joe. That's Garrett County head football coach Spencer Crutchfield. They have a chance, if they beat Mercer County on Friday night, to clinch a home playoff game. If Mercer County were to beat Garrett, it would cause chaos, because then you'd have a Mercer County team that would be 2-2 in the district, a Garrett team that would be 2-2, a Bardstown team that would be 2-2 as well. So you'd have that three-way tie for the number 2 seed. So basically what Garrett needs to do, if you're a Golden Lion fan, right, beat Mercer County, you get yourself a home playoff game. And I know, Rick, you're getting ready to talk to Coach East, but what Mercer wants to do is to cause chaos and make it a three-way tie for that number 2 seed. And let's talk to Dr. Chaos. Mercer Coach East, nice first win of the year, district win, and road win over Casey, 37-16.
Yeah, kudos to our coaches and more specifically our players. They played hard, and we found a way to win the football game. It was not pretty at times, but it was pretty at the end, and that's all that matters is our kids deserve to win. It's been a rough year, but we still feel we've gotten better every week, even though we hadn't seen that result in the win-loss column. So we finally got a chance to win, and I'm happy for our kids.
Coach, what did you tell them after the game was over?
I just told them I was proud of them. I asked them how it felt to win, and then really I emphasized that we won, celebrate, have fun, but realize we got a lot of things that we need to fix in order to get ready for Garrett County. And if we want to beat Garrett County, we can't make the same mistakes that we made tonight. So sleep on it for the weekend and have a good time and come back on Monday ready to go to work.
Everybody come out okay after the game?
No, I think we came out okay. I think we're good.
Do have Garrett County coming to Mercer County. They're a good football team. Tell us what concerns you about their offense.
Well, first of all, they've been a good football team since their head coach has gotten there. They do a great job over there with building their program, coaching their players, getting their players stronger in the weight room in the off season. They do a great job, so they're going to be very well prepared, and they're going to play hard, and that's what we have to prepare for.
What about defense? What do you think they like to try to do on defense?
Well, on defense, they're going to run they're either 4 down or 3 down in situational football. Depends on what they're going to do. But coach, their defense, he's been there for quite some time. So we know what he's going to do. He might throw in a few wrinkles here and there, but for the most part, we know what their defense is. They're solid. They're fundamentally sound. They're going to run hard to the football, and they'll be very opportunistic towards the ball when it's in the air or on the ground.
What do their special teams look like?
Again, they're solid. They got a couple kids that can run in the return game. They got a couple good kickers. They cover well, so they're very solid in the kicking game.
You know, there's something to be said for coming home again. You know, Coach Crutchfield coached, he started out at Lincoln County, and then he came back to Garrett County. He was the quarterback at Garrett County, so he feels right at home there at Garrett County, and I think it's showing.
Well, yeah, I would agree. It looks like they definitely have a buy-in with the hometown product being back home, and he's done a great job over there. And the kids and the parents and the community has bought into what he's trying to build, and that's the most important thing. He's doing a great job.
What are the keys to a Mercer County victory over Garrett County Friday night?
Well, we got to eliminate mistakes. More importantly, we got to play harder than the other team for 4 quarters. And if we play harder than the other team for 4 quarters and try to do everything right and eliminate as many mistakes as we can, we'll give ourselves a chance to win. And that's all we want to do is give ourselves a chance. All right, Rick, I appreciate you. Go Titans.
There you go. Mercer County head coach Craig Yeast, like he said, just give yourself a chance to win and see what happens with that number 2 seed in the district.
You know, the first win of the year, Joe, you never know. Momentum is a strange thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Good momentum, bad momentum.
And they have historically, and Crutchfield said this, been a thorn in Garrett County's side. They've won, I didn't count the exact number, but it's something like 6 or 7 in a row over Garrett County, Mercer County has. So they've had their number over the last decade. We'll see what happens on Friday night. Right now, Jack's got the number of this banana split right in front of him.
I'm watching him. I'm watching him close in case anything drips. I'm there to catch
and now
it.
Here's Rayleigh throwing her blizzard all over the place. She dropped her spoon. I've got ice cream on my leg now. This is pleasant. All right, we're going to hit a commercial break. Come back.
That's why I got napkins.
We're talking with Boyle County. Thank you. Rick just assumed the spills were going to happen, so we got a wad full of napkins. Boyle County head coach Justin Haddock's going to be on the show. Danville head coach Steve Stonebreaker on here as well. It's coming up next on the Dairy Queen Pigskin Report, live from the DQ of Harrodsburg on 99.5 FM WHBM, 103.9 FM WHIR, and hometownlive.net.
What makes Whitaker Bank uniquely Kentucky? Our mission is to provide comprehensive banking products and services for our customers and to invest in the Kentucky communities where we live. Whitaker Bank is a reliable partner, guiding you towards solid decisions for today's evolving environment and for the challenges you may face tomorrow. We are committed to building long-term relationships with our customers and the communities we serve. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Most of us may have some weekend free time, so when you find yourself looking at a home project, come see us at Job Master Rental. We'll get you the right tool for any job. We can help you tackle home improvement projects to major construction and everything in between. Come see us at Job Master and take advantage of our weekend special. Pick up a piece of equipment on Friday after 3 p.m. and return it by 8 a.m. Monday morning and pay the one-day price. Come see us for all your rental needs. Visit us at jobmasterrental.com. We have 2 convenient locations in Danville and Lebanon. Let us help master your job.
What kind of tires do we keep at CC Auto? Cooper, Michelin, Nitto, Hankook, Firestone, Bridgestone, Toyo, General, Yokohama, and many more. We've just added the new line of Mastercraft tires, and we are also a Goodyear national account dealer. We keep lawn and garden tires in stock, as well as farm implement tubes and tires. We have a farm service truck to meet the needs of our farmers. Call us at CC Auto today, 734-9515.
CC Auto Parts and Service is the difference. We get it.
Saturday night.
Play aggressive, play fast.
The Cats are ready to blast old Rocky Top and squeeze out some orange juice all over that field. Tennessee Volunteers and your Kentucky Wildcats.
Touchdown! The pregame show starts this Saturday evening at 5:30 with kickoff at 7:45.
It's all right here on your home for the Cats and the hits is WRNZ FM C105.
And now, back to the DQ Pigskin Report.
Live from the Dairy Queen of Harrodsburg, we've got Super Dave and Joe Robinson and the Padre and Rebecca and Truett. You can hear Rick, if you hear that noise in the background. That's Rick making a face at Truett, trying to get him to laugh. Jack's eating a massive banana split. It's the size of his head. And Rayleigh's eating, is that an Oreo Blizzard, Rayleigh? An Oreo Blizzard. So we're having a blast here. You think your head's bigger than that? And it's a big banana split. They don't... He's putting his head down there and measuring. They don't skimp on the banana split ingredients.
No, that's
here,
a
do
big
they?
banana
It's a
split.
big old thing.
That's healthy.
We're going to talk with Boyle County head coach Justin Haddix here. Ready? Rick, talk with him.
All right, and Coach Haddix, you really took it to Lincoln County early and often, running away with a 48-7 rout.
Yeah, I'm proud of our group. We asked them to come out and start off fast. Felt like we were very focused. Kind of sent a message of what we wanted to do, and defense obviously played really well. I thought offense started off, scored the first drive. We hadn't done that as much this year as we had in years past, so that was good for us, just executing at a high level. I thought he played pretty well, played within himself, got the ball to the guys and let them go make plays. That was one of those things of you're not getting touched, you're not doing that, all you got to do is disperse the ball. So he's done a great job of that. Obviously being able to run and gives us that dynamic too, things we can continue to build on.
You had, looks like, 8 different guys carry the ball, which, again, that's good variety. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that caught passes. Again, that's good variety. And, when the kids get the ball running or thrown to, I think it gives a little more incentive to go harder in practice, too.
We're building depth, and we still got it. We're working on things. That's something maybe in years past we haven't had to do that because we've had, at this point, we've been pretty secure on who we have playing. This year's obviously different, and we're working on different things that we can still develop guys, and we're getting better each week. So very, very looking forward to them. They're working in practice, and it's good to see that turnover in the game time.
Let's talk about, I think one of the officials must have worked for Tide because there was so many flags thrown in that game. It was over 110 yards in penalties. Is that something that you're going to look at today and try to go back and address?
When it comes to officiating and some of the flags, we look at our guys. We see things that are penalties, and we punish them for things that we feel like are penalties. And if we're doing something silly, I thought it was a testament to our guys. The one play when, they had someone come off the sideline, somebody hit our guys late, we got our people and got to our sideline. And it could have been a very bad deal. I think Jack Scroll tackled someone. There was no flag thrown. Their guy gets up and tackles Jack, tackles something else. Then another guy hits one of ours. And our guys get up and get to the sideline. And, then somehow it ends up being offsetting. I don't know. But those are that we can control. We obviously got to clean up some penalties. But some things we're watching the film, and if we feel like it's a penalty, then, yeah, we punish them for it. And we don't want to have a bunch of penalties. But some other things, we just got to move on.
And you've got Wayne County coming in, another district game. Quarterback's a freshman. Wayne County has rushed for 1,220 yards, passed for 643, leading rusher at 686. What does the offense show you about Wayne County?
They lost their quarterback starting off the year, so he had an injury, a non-contact injury. So he was their bell cow, like runner, thrower, their guy. And they're young up there right now. They do have a good line of scrimmage. They got an offensive tackle that's got offered by Wake Forest. Got some other things going on, plays offensive tackle and defensive end. So they got some talent there. We've got to do a good job of stopping the run. That's number one always. But just watching them on film quickly so far, they're going to be physical. They play a different style of defense that we'll have to prepare for, and we just got to do our jobs.
Looking at their defense, they give up 81 yards a game rushing, 165 yards a game passing. So it looks like the defense is fairly stout.
Yeah, they do. The scheme that they play kind of surprised me, I guess, that Russell County didn't score, but it is a different scheme as far as what you're going against. So it makes you prepare a little different. So we'll have things in that we need to work on and show our kids to kind of be prepared.
What about special teams? What do you see there?
I've not watched, to be honest, I haven't watched a whole lot of them on special teams yet. But I'm sure Coach Duffy, they're always solid in that department.
I was just looking at the kickers, 8 out of 14 for extra points. The one thing that they've got 6 interceptions. So ball hawking a little bit there, too, on defense.
Yeah, we got to be smart with the football, taking care of it, and they bring pressure on the quarterback. And when you bring pressure on the quarterback, it makes, bad throws, and then bad throws, you get good DB play. Good things happen for the defense, so we got to be smart with the football.
Come out okay health-wise after the game?
Yeah, injury-free, just moving forward. Hopefully we'll get, Drakeford back moving forward. We'd love to get him back later in the year, and that could be a possibility.
Keys to a Boyle County victory over Wayne County Friday night.
Got to be physical, take away the run on defense. We got to take care of the ball on offense and be solid in special teams. Hey, thank you. Go Rebels.
Here you go, Boyle County head coach Justin Haddix. From one Titletown coach to another, let's go to Danville head coach Steve Stonebreaker. And Coach Stonebreaker, we knew going in it was going to be a tough game, as LCA proved just how good they were, coming away with a 49-18 win over your Admirals.
Yeah, I thought the players gave good effort. I mean, we had guys go out there and play hard and went into the game believing they could win the game and got out there and wanted to win the game. And, sometimes things work out for you, sometimes they don't. But I thought our kids played hard, and we did a lot of good things in the football game. Just made too many mistakes to be able to hang in there with a team like LCA.
You made some big plays early on. I know LCA jumped out to a 2-touchdown lead, but you had a 4th down stop, a turnover on downs you forced, and then you got in the end zone after that with a JV Mukes touchdown run. So again, like getting down early in the game, you had mentioned last week like you wanted to see how your guys would respond in that situation, and they came back and punched back.
Yeah, we did, and that's something we talked about all week long was that, they're a good football team. They were going to make some plays, and, they were going to hit some punches, and we were going to need to punch back. So, our guys did a pretty good job of that. First drive of the football game, we went for it on 4th and 1, and we were going to have to do some of that kind of stuff to try to hang in there with them because, we knew it was going to be a battle, but we didn't get that one. Then the second drive, we actually got down inside the 5. And did not come away with points there and went out on down. So, it was that third drive of the game where we end up scoring. And, had we done a little bit better to finish one of those first 2 drives, the game could have been a little bit different. So those are the things that you look back on and you think, hey, maybe we're not as far away as we think we are. Even with the final score there. So we know we've got things we've got to shore up. We've got to get better at coming out of that football game, and we're looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, now you had mentioned that you felt like this is kind of a good bar for you all to see how you stack up against a team that is a top 5 team in Class 2A and see where the differences are and how far maybe that next level is away from you all, Coach. So how do you feel about that now after this game versus LCA?
Well, I mean, we know some things we've got to get better at. We've got to improve on for sure. Some of those things are things we're going to get to practice this week. We're giving the kids off today for Monday. We'll get back to the practice field tomorrow. And, some of those things are going to be things we're going to be working on throughout this week. We want to make a big jump as a team heading into the playoffs and be the best version of ourselves. And, coming out of a game like that LCA game, we can see, hey, if we improve in this area, that area, we're going to be a lot better football team. So we're going to work on some of those things this week. Some of the things we've got to work on are things that may take a period of months to work on when you talk about, some strength, some more strength, power, explosiveness games, that kind of thing, When I took over the program in January, we had 2 kids benching over 205, and we're well better than that right now. But we're not where we need to be and where we want to be to, play in that upper echelon. So, we've got some work to do all the way around, and our kids are going to do it.
We talked about their quarterback last week, Nash Whalen, who accounts for about 70% of all their offensive yards, threw for 235 and 4 touchdowns, ran for 126 and a score. Just how good is this kid? Just a sophomore, too.
Yeah, he's a really good playmaker. He really is, and makes good decisions with the football in his hands too. When there are pass calls and he tucks it up to run and get downfield. Those are usually good decisions where he didn't leave a throw on the table. And when the ball does leave his hands, he's usually making correct reads and doesn't throw a lot of picks and those kind of things. So he's a heck of a quarterback without a doubt, and fits what they do very well.
You all got a heck of a player as well in Javian Mukes, who ran for 3 touchdowns, Coach. He's at the 25-touchdown mark now this year. And, again, we could talk about Javian every single week, but 25 touchdowns in 1 year requires a lot of work, not just from Javian, but the offensive line up front. And, we could heap praise on Javian and the O-line every single week.
Yeah, that offensive line group, that tight end group, and we had receivers. Cam Peters was a kid Friday night that played really well both sides of the ball. He played one of his better games. And sometimes you lose a football game, but you have some kids like that really bring it and really play well. And Cam Peters was a kid like that the other night for us. He did a really good job both sides of the football. And like I said, that offensive line tight end group, they've improved as much as any position group that we've had throughout this football season. So, they did a lot of good things the other night, and then there's some things, of course, that we're going to look at and say, hey, played somebody really good, and, got to see us doing this, and, got to improve at this, taking this particular angle or this particular contact point or something like that, and we're going to get better from it.
Coach, you do have the bye week this Friday. Let me ask you this. First of all, do you like a bye week this late in the year after your last district game? And then second question, what do you plan on doing this week during the bye week for practice?
Yeah, I actually like it how it falls. I've never had a bye week this late in the season. I've had bye weeks, weeks 3 and 4, and then a lot, throughout the middle of the season and that kind of thing. I've never had one this late, but I think it falls at a pretty good time for us, where it's really close to the playoffs. It's after we finish up district play, and, we get an opportunity here a week after we played a very good opponent to work on some things, make sure we improve and get better. And then the second part of what we got to do this week, and I told the players this leaving the field Friday night, is we do want to make sure that we're as close to 100% as possible health-wise going into our last regular season game and then into the playoffs. We want to be as close to 100% with our bodies as possible.
Back around the corner.
There you go. That's Danville head coach Steve Stonebreaker. Admirals are on bye this week and be back in action. Final game of the regular season at home versus Caverna.
Bad for our fantasy
next
league.
week. Yeah, it could be
We're
tough.
going to lose some good players there.
Yeah, it'd be tough losing some Danville players. In terms of all the other games going on, Wayne County is at Boyle County. Pregame starts after 7 o'clock on Z105 WRNZ-FM. Garrett County is at Mercer County. Garrett pregame will be after 7 o'clock. That game will be on WHIR this week, and Garrett County's broadcast will be on HIR with Danville off, or you can listen to it on hometownlive.net or delayed after the Boyle County game. And, of course, the Mercer side of that broadcast, same time after 7 o'clock on 99.5 FM WHBM. Again, Danville has the night off. Lincoln County is at Russell County. Woodford County is at Anderson County. And Casey County is at Lexington Catholic. On Saturday, Center College is at, I almost said Louisville Trinity of Texas, starting at 1:30 there Saturday. And then Tennessee is at UK. Our coverage begins at 5:30. Kickoff, I believe, is at 7:45, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Saturday evening on Z105. Riley, what do you want to say?
Hello.
Hello from Rayleigh Joe, who got her, what did you have, chicken strips?
Mm-hmm.
Got her chicken strips in and got that blizzard as well, the Oreo blizzard.
Well, that's going to do it for another DQ Pigskin Report. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Robert, back at the station. Thank you all coming out, Super Dave and Joe and the Mathis family and Padre. We'll see you back here again next week.
This has been the DQ Pigskin Report, brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agents, Intercounty Energy, CC Auto Parts and Service, Whitaker Bank, Jobmaster Rental, and by DQ of Harrodsburg. Join us every Monday evening at 6 during football season for the Pigskin Report on the Hometown Radio Network and hometownlive.net. Miss any part of the show? Listen to the video replay on hometownlive.net.